So for the session for today, it's about trim type A, but prior proceeding to the trim type A, I want you to understand what is meant by MCTC, and we are going to derive the formula for calculating MCTC. And then we'll get into the actual trim type A calculation. So before commencing with the topic, anybody would like to answer what is meant by MCTC? In your own words, I don't want the typical definition.
The moment to change trim by 1 centimeter.
Yes, what do you understand by it? Now for that, let me compare it. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, how much trim moment required to change the ship's trim by a single centimeter. Now to understand this better, let's relate it to TPC. TPC means the quantity required to change your draft by 1 centimeter. But this is a bodily sinkage or rise. That means the draft changes overall. Whereas with MCTC, it is the moment, not the quantity. It's the moment required to change the trim by 1 centimeter. So whatever is your present trim, if you want to change it by 1 centimeter, that's what is the moment required. That is what is all about MCTC. Now let's get into the derivation of the formula. Once again, just a quick recap. What is meant by center of flotation? It's the center of water plane area, and it is the fulcrum about which the ship is going to trim. Is that understood? So it is the fulcrum about which the ship is going to trim. This is the concept we are going to use in the whole of trim type A. Whereas what Captain Nambiar had taken, it was all about LCB, LCG comparison, which is the concept we use in trim type B. Whereas here we are going to take the fulcrum as center of flotation and see how the ship is going to trim about that point. Once again, how the center of flotation changes with draft. It's not a fixed point. As the draft changes, you will find that there is change in the water plane area. So as the water plane area, the centroid also keeps changing. So according to draft, the center of flotation changes. So what I've given here for higher draft, center of flotation is slightly aft of midship. For very low drafts, it's slightly forward of midship. This is just a general trend. It doesn't mean that for every ship it has to follow the same pattern. Now, let's take a case of a vessel which is at even keel. That means forward aft drafts are same. Center of flotation, as I've shown here, is slightly aft of midship. So when there is a change in trim, will the change in the forward and aft drafts be the same? Anybody would like to answer that? Presently even keel, in case there is a trim change, will the change in the forward and aft drafts be the same?
No, sir.
Negative. No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. Under which condition will it be same?
If
it is vertically above the GO.
the center of rotation is same as the
Is at midship. That's right. If the center of rotation is at midship, the changes in the forward and aft draft will be same, identical. So as of now, since center of rotation is not at midship, remember we talked about when we did this hydrostatic particulars derivation of hydrostatic draft, TA, TF, trim change forward, trim change aft, or trim aft, trim forward. So the same thing applies here. TA and TF are not going to be same because the center of rotation is not at midship. Now this is the present condition. Now in this present condition, I have some weight which is located somewhere forward of the vessel, forward part of the vessel. I have some weight. Under this condition only, it's floating at even keel. So again, going back to that other concept, for a vessel to float at even keel, the center of gravity and buoyancy should be in the same vertical line. That, or in other words, LCB should be equal to LCG. Again, this is the basic concept we'll use in trim type B. Now, from this present condition, where the weight which is forward part of the vessel, I'm going to shift this weight. So, as I said, present even keel, LCB is equal to LCG. Now, once I shift this weight, there is going to be a change in position. How it happens. Now this weight is going to be shifted. As of now, the position of G is here. And because I'm going to shift this weight aft, what is going to happen to that red dot which is representing center of gravity? It's going to also move aft, and it is going to move parallel to the direction of shift of it. Is this understood? The red dot has moved aft, and that movement is parallel to the direction of shift of it. So G has moved aft now. Now you see, because of this movement of G, there is a moment which is created, and that moment depends on this movement of G to G dash. The G to G dash motion is the one responsible for creating this moment to trim the vessel. Now let's take this triangle G dash, G and M. What is this ML which I have drawn here, which I have mentioned here?
Metacentric height.
Yeah, it's to be more specific, it's called longitudinal
Longitudinal.
metacentric. Perfect. Okay, remember there is a metacenter which we used to get when the ship rolls over transversely. That is called transverse metacenter. So when we say GM of a vessel, what am I really referring to?
Longitudinal metacentric.
Now, when I just, without any specification, I just say GM, I actually talk about metacentric height, which is related to transverse metacenter.
Transverse.
Yes. Why is this longitudinal metacenter hardly ever taken into consideration? GML. Because when we say GM of a vessel, I don't really specifically mention GMT. I only say GM. Why don't we take this GML into consideration at all? For all practical purposes, when we say GM of a vessel.
The weight is
Sir,
forward to aft.
the GML is very high in practical purpose, so we generally don't consider, because longitudinal stability is not a problem.
Very true. Very true. When a ship rolls transversely, the metacenter form, we call it transverse metacenter. From the center of gravity to the transverse metacenter, that vertical distance is what we call metacentric height, or GM transverse. That normally is about half a meter, 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter at the most. So when a ship has a problem with stability, it is always a problem mainly with the transverse stability. Whereas if you take this GM longitudinal, it's normally about 200, 300 meters. So what we are bothered about is more about transverse stability rather than longitudinal stability. So there is this is the primary reason being the ship's length is always much greater than its width, which is why longitudinal stability is not of major concern. It's the transverse stability which is more important. So that is why when we say GM, we don't even specify. It is automatically meant GM transverse. Is that understood by all?
Yes, sir.
So now here when we talk about trim, that is when this GM longitudinal comes into the picture. Until then, we really don't bother about it. Right. Now, when we take this triangle GG dash and ML, this angle theta, it represents the trim angle, and from the diagram, if you see, tan theta is GG1 by GML. Any doubt on that? Opposite by adjacent. The angle at G is 90 degrees. Right. Okay. Now, I want you to remember what we did when we derived this hydrostatic graph. There also, we took this large triangle AED, where theta represented the trim angle, and in this particular case, we said that tan theta was trim by LBP. Now, trim was represented by AE, which is nothing but combination of TA and TF. Is this understood? Because as I said, whatever we are doing now, there is some link between what we have done in the earlier sessions and now. So that's why there has to be some form of recollection from what we have done earlier. So from this triangle AED, tan theta is equal to AE by AD, echo delta. Echo delta represented by LVP, and AE is the trim of the ship. This is what we have done during the derivation of hydrostatic. So remember this, in the earlier case, we got tan theta was GG1 by GML, where theta represented the trim angle, and in this case tan theta was trim by LBP. So let's go step by step now. What we got first was tan theta was GG1 by GML, and GG1 we are talking about the longitudinal shift of G, and what was causing this GG1 shift? It was that weight which was shifted. So the formula for GG1 is dW by W, and here we are talking about longitudinal shift of weight. So D represents the 4.5 distance by which the weight was shifted. W is the weight which has been shifted. The capital W represents the ship's displacement divided by the same GML. So D into W is the moment which was created due to the shift of weight. Please keep that in mind. It is the moment created due to the shift of weight. And when we talk about MCTC, what we actually mean is that the ship's trim changes by only 1 centimeter. So what we have done is we have shifted that weight from forward to aft just enough to create a trim by stern of 1 centimeter. That's all we have done. So what triangle I have shown you is just exaggerated to show you that angles. Otherwise the change of trim was just 1 centimeter. So this shift of weight D into W, the moment created, was good enough to cause your ship's trim to change by 1 centimeter only. So this dW, in simple words, we call it trimming moment. So tan theta is trimming moment by W into GML. This is based on the first concept. Let's go to the second concept. Remember, we got that tan theta is trim by LBP. Remember again, we are considering a trim change of just 1 centimeter. Now, this trim is 1 centimeter. To keep the units common, that means in meters, I have converted this 1 centimeter trim into 1 by 100 into the LBP, right? So all I have done is the trim was 1 centimeter, which I have converted to metric units 1 by 100. So into 1 L remains the same. So the first part we have got that tan theta is trimming moment by W into GML. The second part we have got tan theta is 1 by 100L. Equation 1 and equation 2. Any doubts so far?
No doubts in chat, Captain Anand, sir.
No doubts in chat. Good. Fine. Now we are going to equate these two. Yes.
In the previous one, you have mentioned tan theta is equal to trim by LVP, right?
Yes.
Second case.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So trim you have taken as 1 centimeter.
Correct.
So 1 by 100.
Correct.
And the L remains to be LBP, right?
LBP. Exactly. Because
Okay.
LBP is always in meters, so I want to keep the whole thing in one common unit.
Okay.
That's the reason. Yeah.
Okay.
The next step we are going to equate these two. Right? Trimming moment by W into GML is equal to 1 by 100 into L. So when we equate these two, I'm going to get this trimming moment kept on one side. Rest all I'm going to take it on to the other side of the equation. So what we have here, trimming moment, and remember this trimming moment was good enough to cause a trim change of just 1 centimeter, is equal to WGML by 100 into L. This is the formula for calculating MCTC. Yes, I think somebody raised the hand. Yeah, you can go ahead with the question. Try and understand this, whatever we have come up to this step. Any doubts so far? If there is no doubt, let's proceed with the next trim type A calculation, how it is carried out. Ship floating at an even keel draft in the present condition. I am going to load a weight W right at this point called center of flotation, which is the fulcrum about which the ship will trim. Will there be any change in draft?
Yes, sir.
Will there be any change in trim?
Trim, no, sir.
No, sir.
No trim change.
Good. Because we are loading this weight right on top of the fulcrum.
Yes.
So it's not going to cause any trim change. But remember, there is a bodily sinkage which is going to happen. That means the forward and aft drafts will change by the same margin, will increase by the same margin because I'm loading a weight here. So when we load a weight, we say it's sinkage. Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
So when we come to this part, trim change, no, nothing is going to happen. Bodily rise sinkage, yes, there is going to be a bodily sinkage. Is that understood in this particular case?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, look at this. In this particular case, I am going to shift a weight from aft to forward. Will there be any bodily sinkage or rise?
No, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please listen carefully. I am only shifting a weight. I am not loading or discharging.
No bodily sinkage.
Ah, good. The reason is whatever weight was already there, I am just shifting it. So your net underwater volume will not change. There may be a change in forward and aft drafts. The net underwater volume doesn't change because I have not physically added or removed any weight. Is that part clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
here, what is going to happen? Will there be any trim change? Yes.
Trim. Yes, sir.
Will there be any bodily sinkage or rise?
No, sir.
No. Good. Let's come to the third case. I'm going to load a weight at some point towards the aft part of the ship. So in this particular case, will there be any bodily sinkage or rise?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, because there is a change in weight. The displacement is changing. So there is going to be a change in underwater volume. There is going to be a bodily sinkage and rise. Now, there is also going to be a trim change.
Yes, sir.
And that trim change depends on the moment created because of the loading of this weight. Is it not? How much moment is going to be created depending on this weight loaded? That's going to cause your trim change.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And how much will this moment be? It's going to be product of force and distance. Distance is
WD.
yeah, W into D. That is the moment. Perfect. And this distance is from the center of flotation. I am not bothered about what is the distance of this weight loaded from aft perpendicular or midship or forward perpendicular. I am interested in knowing what is the distance from the fulcrum. Is it not? Because that is going to decide my trimming moment. So in this case, the trimming moment which is going to be caused is product of D into W. So in this case, what all is going to happen? Trim change, bodily sinkage, both are going to happen. Trim change because I am loading at a point away from the fulcrum. Bodily sinkage rise. Very simple reason being I am loading or discharging some weight. So there has to be a bodily sinkage or rise. So now, in this particular case, the change in your forward and aft drafts are going to be affected by two components, which is trim change as well as bodily sinkage. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Both factors need to be taken into account. So what we have here, the formula, trim change is change in trimming moment by MCTC. How much was the change in trimming moment? Product of D, which is from the fulcrum, into the weight which has been loaded or discharged. So dW is the moment created. So moment created by MCTC. MCTC is the moment required to change the trim by 1 centimeter. So if I divide these two, will I not get how much trim change is required? How much trim change is going to happen? Total trim change. Again, if you're not able to understand, let me again go back to comparison with TPC. So my TPC is 25 tons. If I'm going to load 100 tons, how many centimeters will my draft change, bodily sinkage rise? 4 centimeters.
4 cm, sir. Yes.
Very simple. 100, which is the total weight, divided by TPC will give you the total sinkage. Whereas in this case, DW is the total moment created, creating the trimming moment. So divide by MCTC, which is the moment required for 1 centimeter. If I divide the two, I'm going to get how much my trim is going to change overall. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, please remember, we have to be very careful here. This is the change in trim. It doesn't matter what is your present trim. This is going to give you the change which is going to happen. Now, based on this example which we got here, can you tell me whether the trim change is going to be by stern or by head?
Stern.
By stern, sir.
Okay, because I'm loading some weight aft of the fulcrum. So the trim change will be by stern. Instead of loading, if I discharge the same weight, the trimming moment
Head.
by head. That's all.
Head.
So is this concept clear? How the trim is going to change?
Yes, sir.
So I'm using this word change because This is going to happen because of this weight loaded discharge, irrespective of how much was the earlier trip. So this is going to just give you the change from the present condition. Now, because MCTC I'm using here, I'm going to get this trim change in centimeter. But in general, when we talk about drafts, everything is kept in meters. So what I do to get this trim change in meters, I use in this denominator this figure 100. So directly what I will get trim change in meters instead of centimeter. Is that part also clear?
Yes, sir.
Just by adding this 100 in the denominator, my final answer I will get it directly in meters. Any doubt?
Sir, when we are using all in meters, how we are getting it in centimeters? Sir?
Because MCTC by definition is the moment required to change my trim by 1 centimeter.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
That's how you remember we derived it. I had shifted a weight good enough to cause a trim change of 1 centimeter. So that was the whole concept by which I derived this formula for MCTC. That is the reason why we get this trim change in centimeter. So only when I add this denominator 100, I will directly get it in meters. Right. So remember that first part, sinkage or rise, how I get total weight divided by TPC. I gave you that example of TPC had 100 tons loaded. So the bodily sinkage in this case will be 4 centimeters. But again, to keep this also in common unit of meters, in the denominator I put this figure 100. So that directly I will get the sinkage rise in meter. See, remember, idea is I want to calculate the final drafts. So I need to keep everyone in a common unit. So the best thing under the circumstance will be in meters. So once I get this, I've worked out two different things. One is bodily sinkage, the other one is the trim change. So once I know the trim change, after that I'll be getting the trim change forward and aft. Remember, it's the same formula which we did for hydrostatic draft. Trim change aft will be trim change into LCF by LBP. So that is for trim change aft. So based on that, what I have here is I've just put it in a table form. I will have my initial draft forward and aft. So this is something which I'll have it right at the beginning. Next part, sinkage I have calculated. So in this particular case, the example which we did, because I have loaded a weight, it is going to be sinkage. So both my forward and aft drafts are going to get added by this bodily sinkage. Any doubt on that?
No,
The
sir.
idea is I'm going to use this format to calculate my final drafts. Yes. Now let's get to the second part, which is the trim change. Now, trim change. Remember, in this particular case, because I have loaded that weight in the aft part of the ship, what will happen to the draft forward? Which condition should I take? Remember, because I loaded a weight aft of fulcrum, there is going to be a trim change by stern. That means forward
First
draft will
condition.
reduce. Aft draft
Second
will.
condition.
It's the second condition. Because the trim change which I got was by stern, because I have loaded a weight aft of the center of rotation. So since this weight was loaded aft of center of rotation, the trim change will be by stern. So what I have here in this particular example, I have to take the second case. So this is the condition which I have to take now. So the top one will come only when the trim change was by head. Is that understood? This is only possible when there is a trim change by head. So because trim change was by stern, forward draft would have been reduced, aft draft increased. So that is why the sign here. I have to take this sign. So once I have this, I will just apply it to the initial drafts to get the final draft. This is the whole concept of trim type A. Any doubts so far?
There are no doubts in chat, sir.
Capt. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Can you please explain TA, trim by aft, sir?
Okay. For that, remember what we did in that session on hydrostatic draft? We got this formula for TA as trim into LCF by LBP. Probably, I think those videos are available on YouTube. You can go through it again. So we had derived a formula for this. So there what we did was we equated these two triangles ABF, where AB represented the change in aft draft or the correction to aft draft to get hydrostatic draft. So the formula became trim into LCF by LBP. Okay, this we have done it in the previous week, so that's the reason why I have not brought it back again. The same way, can anybody recollect and tell me what is the formula for calculating TF?
Sir, TC minus TA.
Yes, TC minus TA. But if I really don't want to calculate TA, I want to calculate only TF. I gave it to you as an exercise to find out. I think somebody actually gave me in the next session also the answer. Now, if I take this triangle ABF, so tan theta is TA by LCF. So which I equated to this big triangle AED, where tan theta was trimmed by LBP. So when I equated, what I get the formula for TA as trim into LCF by LBP. But if I take TF, TF is the change in forward draft. So if I take this triangle FCD, tan theta will be TF by this distance FC, and FC is nothing but, there is no specific term for it, we just say it is LBP minus LCF, is it not? Because BC represents LBP and B to F is LCF. So if I want to know what is F to C, all I need to do is it becomes LBP minus LCF. So the formula for TF is just slight modification. For TA we said trim into LCF by LBP, but for TF it will be trim into LBP minus LCF divided by LBP. That's the formula for TF. So that is why I've kept this slide. So only then you will be able to get this component trim change forward and trim change aft. So all I do, I don't need to calculate really trim change forward. I know the total trim change into LCF by LBP will give me trim change aft. And as somebody rightly pointed out, total trim change minus trim change aft will give you trim change forward. Is that understood? Now, to understand this better, if we go through a worked out example, it will be much easier for you. Let's go to that worked out example. In case you have a doubt later, we can come back to this.
Okay.
But as of now, for better understanding, let's see a worked out example.
இல்ல இல்ல போய் அன்னைக்கு செக்அப்க்கு போனாங்க டாக்டருக்கு. அப்புறமா
Okay. Solved example. It's a very, very simple basic problem which I have taken here. Right. A vessel is floating in salt water at a draft of forward 7 meters, aft 10 meters. LVP is 120, TPC is 25 tons, MCTC is 100 ton meter. Now HF, I remember the symbol for midship we have seen earlier also is like somewhat like this, what I've pointed out here. So that in simple terms, it looks like a letter H, we take it as H. Otherwise, this is the symbol for it. So HF 2.5 meters aft, what it really means is the center of flotation is located at a distance of 2.5 meters aft of midship. H represents midship. So that is what is given here. Now, she has to discharge 200 tons of cargo whose center of gravity is 50 meters aft of midship. Now remember, for the trim change formula, we need the distance from the fulcrum, not midship. So we need to calculate that. So the center of gravity of that weight which was discharged is 50 meters aft of midship. Calculate her final draft forward and aft. Now I need to calculate two things: mean sinkage rise as well as trim change. Mean rise, because in this case 200 tons of cargo discharged, so there is going to be a bodily rise. So the formula is W by 100 into TPC. W is 200 divided by 100 into TPC is 25. That gives me a mean rise of 0.08 meters. The formula for trim change will be dW, which is the trimming moment, by 100 into MCTC. W, 200 tons. Now, how we got this 47.5? Let's go to this diagram. The center of flotation as given in the question was 2.5 meters aft of midship. This is the midship symbol. The weight which has been loaded is 50 meters aft of midship, the center of gravity of that weight. So HG, midship to center of gravity, is 50 meters aft. Now, from this, can you tell me how much will this distance D from the fulcrum be?
50 minus 2.5.
47.5.
47.5, which is what I've used in this trim change formula. 47.5. Because I'm not interested in the distance of the weight from midship, I want it from the fulcrum, which is why the distance D has become 47.5, as you saw from the diagram. So when I do this, what I get is a trim change of 0.95 meters by head. Why is it by head here?
Discharging from
Discharge from aft of fulcrum. Yes. So now remember, I told you the formula for trim change aft. AF, which is nothing but LCF. Now, how to get LCF here? Remember, the center of rotation was 2.5 meters aft of midship. The total length of that vessel, which was given in the question, is 120 meters, LBP. So, from aft to midship would have been half that LBP, which means 60 meters. And the center of rotation was 2.5 meters aft of midship. So, 60 minus 2.5, 57.5 will be the LCF, because I want LCF means from aft end. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Captain Anand, sir, moderator here.
Yes.
There's a polling time.
Yes, you can initiate the polling. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, sir. The participant, please give your valuable feedback by polling, which appear in your screen. Thank you.
Okay, you can keep giving the polling. In the meantime, let me continue with this worked out example. So the trim change formula is trim change into LCF by LBP. LCF is 57.5. Trim change we got here 0.95. By head, we'll be using it later. But as of now, remember, trim change aft, we got it as 0.455 meters. Total trim change was 0.95. So this trim change aft means it is nothing but in simple words, how much of this total trim change is affecting your aft draft. That's what is trim change aft. And as somebody pointed out, trim change forward is nothing but total trim change minus trim change aft, 0.95 minus 0.445, sorry, 455. That comes to 0.495. Is this understood so far?
Correct.
Any step
Yes,
not
sir.
clear?
Captain Anand, sir, one doubt raised by Mr. Venkatraman. His doubt is if the vessel is at EK and loading at COF means only sinkage and no TC. How about if the vessel is not at even keel?
No, let's see this example. This example itself, what I've taken now, forward draft is 7 meters, aft draft is 10 meters. Is it not? So the vessel is not at even keel. Now this even keel, I've only taken it for the purpose of explaining the concept. But that is why I'm using this word trim change. It means the change which is going to happen from the present condition. Are you able to understand? The change which is going to happen from the present condition. Are you able to understand? So it doesn't have to necessarily be that the ship has to be at even keel for you to work out these problems. The ship can have any trim, any draft. So we are just calculating what is going to be the change which is going to happen. Is that understood?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Let's go to the calculation part now. Now, initial draft 7 meters forward, 10 meters up. Bodily rise we have calculated as 0.08 meters. Since it is right, it is minus in both cases because we are talking about bodily rise because weight is being discharged. The trim change we have calculated, trim change aft was 0.455 and trim change forward was 0.495. Just look at this sign, why I have put it here. Because I was discharging some weight from aft of fulcrum, the trim change was by head. So your forward draft is going to increase, aft draft is going to decrease. Now this is relative to what was the initial condition. Just because I have said trim change by head, don't imagine that the final condition is going to be down by head. This is only change from the initial condition. That's all. Are you able to appreciate that difference, what I'm saying? It is change from the initial condition. 0.95 by head doesn't mean that finally it will be down by head. So because it is trim change by head, forward trim change plus, aft trim change is minus. So once I apply all these, I'm going to find out the net result, which is my final draft forward and aft. Any doubt?
Captain Anand, sir, moderator here. One of Captain Anand, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
One participant had raised the question. His name is, I think, mobile name Vivo. Why is AF measured from FP?
No. See, AF by definition means from half perpendicular. I had told you this formula for calculating trim change forward. Only in that particular case you measure center of rotation from forward. So otherwise for trim change aft means I have to take the distance of center of rotation from aft perpendicular only, not from forward. So if you see here also LCF, what I have taken is because the center of rotation was aft of midship. So from half length I have subtracted this 2.5. But if you take the distance from forward perpendicular, it would have become 62.5. No, I'm using from aft end only. That's why I subtracted 2.5. Does that answer your question?
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Any doubts so far?
Sir, trim change, I understood that trim change aft, that is AF into trim change divided by L. Is there any other explanation for that, or I can look into some other video?
See, the whole explanation or derivation for that, we have done it already in a session which is titled hydrostatic particulars.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So that was probably a week before. So the entire derivation part was done there. So that is why I didn't bring it up again.
Okay, sir. Okay.
So in that you will see a diagram like this based on which we will get the derivation. So specifically if you come to that portion, you will be able to get the derivation part. If there is no question, my last session was on Simpson's rule. I had a very tiny bit left. I just want to finish that part. Before I show you this feedback slide, let me just come to that. Right. So I told you that we are going to just see a small portion left, which is trim type, which is Simpson's rule 3. Now, in this particular case where I've shown you, A, B, C are 3 ordinates. I want to calculate the area and the centroid between ordinates A and B. Now, if you remember, for calculating the area, the multipliers I use are 5, 8, minus 1.
Yes, sir.
So first I have to decide the axis from which I am going to calculate the centroid. That means I want the centroid of this small portion between A and B from the end A. Any doubt on this? I start 5 from end A, 5, 8, minus 1. So using this I can get the area between A and B. How? The formula is H into Simpson's constant into 5A plus 8B minus C. Is that understood? This is just the first step, calculating area. 5, 8, minus 1. Now, for calculating the moment, I use a completely different set of multipliers. This is irrespective of what is H, all that doesn't matter. The multipliers for calculating moment are 3, 10, minus 1. So I get the moment as H squared into 1 by 24 into 3A plus 10B minus 1C. So the multipliers are 3, 10, minus 1 for moment, which is unlike rule 1 and 2. This is slightly different. So here direct multipliers are given for moment also. Right? Now, I have calculated moment, and this moment is going to be from the end where I started 3. So from there only it will give me the moment. That means I have got it from A. So finally, how to get the centroid of area between A and B from end A? Very simple, moment by area. Area also I got it for area between A and B. Moment, since I've commenced this 3 from end A, I will get the moment of this area between A and B from end A also.
So will you explain that h square and 1 by 24 on moment?
Yeah, this is actually just like how you use the Simpson's multiplier for area or volume. This is a standard formula. Again, h squared because it is becoming a moment, product of area into distance from a fixed axis. So that is where this h comes into the picture. So this entire formula is again derived or simplified based on integral calculus. That's why you see the numbers and all are completely sounding illogical. It's not like that we are doubling it or something.
It's kind of standard formula for the moment.
It's a standard
right,
formula for moment. Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
This formula is just to find moments between two coordinates.
Between two ordinates from the end where 3 starts. Because moment, remember, we have to define an axis. So whichever end 3 starts, you will get the moment of that shape or that area from that axis.
Yes, sir.
So that is why where this 3 starts is very important. So centroid of area between A and B from end A will be moment by area or volume, as the case may be. With that we can get the centroid.